Gonna be honest, the only reason I'm making this video is because I saw Delzathan's video on the topic, and figured, yeah, that sounds fun. Originality be damned. I have opinions that I want to share. The first Fighters Pass has come and gone, bringing fascinating new fighters, wonderful music, and a pinch of salt for everyone for good measure. On one hand, the hype train is always a wild ride. Getting to see all the crazy new fighters added to the game is my favorite part of this series. But on the other hand, my picky preferences did everything in their power to ruin these characters for me. And while they failed spectacularly, everyone's at least an 8 out of 10 here, there are a few issues I have that I want to share about them, and praises I want to make. So, doing the same old shtick, least to most favorite order, let's talk Smash Brothers. I'm the kind of person that enjoys Smash Brothers entirely for the crossover aspect. If this game had original characters that played exactly the same way, I wouldn't spend my time with it. I derive all my joy here from playing as characters I love, and fulfilling their respective fantasies in a way that I wouldn't be able to otherwise, as well as the simple, glorious pleasure of watching this grand museum of gaming history grow larger and larger. So it probably doesn't come as a surprise when I say that I do not appreciate Byleth's inclusion. Positives first, though. Out of the absurdly large Fire Emblem roster, Byleth is the best of the bunch, showcasing his series better than all that came before, other than maybe Robin. I consider Byleth to be the most important Fire Emblem character we have now. I'd cut everyone else before these two. His design single-handedly proves how much simple value a spear or an axe can bring to a character's moveset, and I enjoy that moveset quite a lot. I love Amir. But Byleth as a whole, and the other elements he brings alongside him, do absolutely nothing for me. It was such a letdown to go from historic, genre-defining series making their way into Smash, some more Fire Emblem, to get 50 brand new songs alongside Terry and one of the best stages in the game, to Garrick Mach Monastery, and a musical style that there's already plenty of. I cannot look at Byleth without feeling that he's a tragic waste of potential. This weapon-swapping gimmick would easily fit on a Monster Hunter. In fact, it would work better on a Monster Hunter. There's more options there, and the possibilities for incredible stages and music from that series leaves Fire Emblem in the dust. That's not to say it's a poor addition. Poorly timed, definitely, and the worst trailer by far, but Byleth is well designed, and I'm glad there are people who are happy to have him. But I can also confidently plant my flag and state that there were better choices that could have been made here. Apparently I enjoy throwing salt into wounds, but yes, I liked the Mii costumes more than I did Byleth. The sheer delight of seeing Cuphead in Smash didn't just overshadow Byleth's reveal, it straight up countered my disappointment at seeing him. I played as Sans before I tried out Banjo. It's so awesome that these smaller characters are getting a chance at the spotlight with these announcements, and I really hope that continues going forward. Sans and Cuphead pretty much made me a Gunner main, and I would love to see some characters that get me into the other two Miis. Please give me Hollow Knight. Has there been a better hype train than the start of the first Fighters Pass? Nobody knew what to expect. People are trying to stay safe with their predictions, Byleth, a Gen 8 Pokemon, lots of recent stuff that isn't terribly groundbreaking or interesting. Then, on that fateful night before the game came out, all expectations were blown out of the water. An entire subset of dreams that most people never expected to happen were not only possible now, one just happened. That period of Smash speculation was incredible. The best it's ever been. It truly felt like anything was possible, and I treasured that dearly. And then Joker came out. I did not realize it at first. I was too enamored by the sheer hype that this was a thing that happened. But as the months passed, I started to notice how much Joker took from other characters here, and how little he took from his own games. How even simple elements like his idol and his basic attacks were completely changed from what they are in Persona. And after working on his Know Your Moves episode, I understood what my problem was. Joker in Smash isn't really Joker. He's more of an avatar for Persona 5 as a whole. taking a similar role as Ness to act as a living embodiment of his game. I think that works for a few characters, but I don't like it on Joker. His entire personality has all dials set to prim, proper gentleman thief, completely ignoring his rougher, arrogant side. You never see him taunt his opponents or start relaxing, confident that he can handle the situation he's gotten himself into. I wouldn't call it a bad design. I recognize what it's supposed to be, and it succeeds marvelously for what it is. I just think it was a poor direction to take the character. And seeing as me and Pirikong discussed this for 50 minutes already on this channel, I'll just leave it at that here. Take my story with Joker and reverse it, and you pretty much know how I feel about Hero. Hero left the worst first impression on me, worse than even Byleth. So much of what was shown of this character was reused from other fighters, leaving a generic taste in my mouth for this character's normals. And that first trailer didn't do a great job of showcasing how Hero's mechanics functioned. But as I saw more of the character, I realized that he's full of randomized chaos, which I love, and I began to understand how ridiculously ambitious his spell list is. The copycat moves did and still annoy me, but now I could see where the strengths of the design were. Throw another Know Your Moves into the mix, and I learned why so many elements of Hero outside his spells are boring. It's not that it's a botched translation from Dragon Quest to Smash, it's just that Dragon Quest heroes, in of themselves, are generic. They're boring blank slates, that's the point. That helped me set aside those issues for good, and he's ended up being one of my favorite characters to play. I definitely understand why many don't like him, but I, for one, am delighted to have moves that instantly kill anyone at any time. Here we go! Where the previous characters all had designs I had a few issues with, from here on out it's nothing but perfect 10s. Starting with what I'd argue is the best good vibes addition to the series. This feels nice. This feels right. Banjo always struck me as a character that got robbed of his chance for greatness. I wholeheartedly believe that he would have reached the same level as other big franchises if his company hadn't been so terribly mismanaged. Not quite Mario levels, of course, but I could see him chilling with Kirby and Donkey Kong as characters that everyone knows and loves. So seeing him finally get his chance to retake his spotlights, like I've never even played a Banjo game, but this trailer still gives me a powerful rush of nostalgia. Justice has never felt so sweet. And the design is just mwah! Best animations in the game, no doubt about it. Every single move that this pair has so much love and care put into it. Nails their playstyle to a T. I don't really enjoy playing as them, but that's irrelevant to my tastes. So many people have stated that Banjo and Kazooie don't feel like DLC characters, and I agree. They aren't too crazy, no insane mechanics that show how much the series has grown. They simply feel like they belong, as if they've been here all this time. And I think that's beautiful. I've been speculating about Smash Bros. For roughly 15 years now. As such, I've had a lot of time to think about potential characters, so it's been a while since I've seen something that I haven't thought of before. I know that sounds super narcissistic, so let me be clear. There were plenty of things I didn't think much about. Things I never expected to happen in the ways they did. It's not a sign of intelligence, I just spend way too much time daydreaming. Wii Fit Trainer was the last one that truly broke my brain, in terms of where did this even come from? And with how ingrained speculation has become in my life, I thought she would be the last. You can't be serious! It took days for this to settle in, but I loved it once it did. Piranha Plant is such a perfect wacky character. An entirely unexpected addition, whose strange abilities make for an incredibly unique playstyle. No other character can do the things it can. And hilariously, this is one of the most iconic characters on the entire roster. I don't think you could have included a better generic enemy than what was done here. But more than that, this felt like a wonderful return to form for the series. Smash has had some truly bizarre characters. Characters that you can only shrug at when people ask why they're here. And as someone that vastly prefers the super important, historic characters instead, it puts a big smile on my face to see that the wacky side of Smash designs hasn't gone away completely. I've talked a lot about what I like from Smash Bros. Today, but let me take a quick second to explain why I feel that way. Smash Bros. Has expanded my horizons when it comes to video games. I wouldn't be interested in half the series I am today if it weren't for Smash Bros. So many of my preferences are built around this game. Fire Emblem, Metroid, Persona, Kid Icarus, Pikmin, Punch-Out, Bayonetta, and the mere rumor of Shulk got me to try Xenoblade. Even the games I haven't gotten around to or don't enjoy. I've never played a Castlevania, but I adore the music of this series. Because of that past, I eagerly wait for the chance to expand those horizons further, to see what characters I'll fall in love with next, or excitedly watch as others get to do the same for my favorites. I adore that chance to bask in decades of unknown history. That's what happened with me for Terry Bogard. I didn't even know this guy existed before the whole SNK leak. I am that far removed from traditional fighting games. And when I saw the trailer for his announcement, I wasn't excited. He seemed like a simplistic brawler, just a leaner Ken. But then Sakurai showcased his love for the series, and I was sold. Calling his design perfect goes without saying. He's a fighting game character, of course he translates well into a fighting game crossover. But more than that, Terry embodies the best aspect of Smash Bros., taking a series that many haven't heard of and giving it the biggest possible spotlight it could have, in the best possible way. Without it, I would have happily gone through life without ever knowing Terry's name, but now, I love this guy. I love his wacky personality, his satisfying abilities. He came with one of the best stages in the entire game, and there's so much music and it's all so good. Broke every limit and set the bar while he was at it. This guy could have been the end of Smash DLC and I'd be happy. That's how satisfied I am with his inclusion. And we've got 6 more on the way as we speak. I have no idea where the spotlight will shine next, but I am eagerly awaiting the chance to see where this ride takes us. Just please don't be a Generation 8 Pokemon, please. I'd take a 9th Fire Emblem character over that. Well, okay, maybe Grimmsnarl.